Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 24th of October. So first things first, let's go look at the news events this morning. We've got the PMI data coming out today. We've seen some UK retail sales figures out. That's better, some of them much better than expected here. Some half decent figures kicking through at the moment, but we've got the PMI data coming out today for France, Germany, then eventually Europe as a whole, which is the lesser impact, but then the UK and later on the US data. We've got some US core inflation figures or US inflation figures coming out there as well. So there's quite a lot to come through. Let me just update this. There we go. So it's a little bit clearer on here. Look. So here's all the key numbers that are coming out here. The important ones really are the French, particularly the German. The French will start moving the market. The German can continue moving it or kick it the other way. So we really want to leave 8:30 to be out the way this morning before we do anything with the likes of the euro. Then we've got 9:30. We've got the UK there, and as I say, US. Numbers coming through. 245 is the PMI figures, but we've got this inflation now. Is this going to actually happen? It's got little notes. Okay, we'll see if they actually come out. So that's where we sit there. Right, let's get on and look at the technicals then. And looking at the euro yesterday, it managed a fractional up day. But really very little movement in these markets. You can see it from the 4-hourly here as good as anything. There is a bit of a triangle, but it's a bit of the wrong way around actually. The flat top and the slanty bottom on a downward trend, which we should have a flat bottom and a slanty top. Anyway, it's a bit of a mess here. We've got this sort of potential key reversal bar sitting here on the current bar. I think for this we'd be better off waiting till at least 8:30 when we've got both sets of numbers out there for France, Germany. I'm not worried about the European data as a whole, but those numbers could set a little bit of tone. I don't think they'll necessarily set a trend, but a bit of tone, maybe a little trend for the morning, but may give us an opportunity. The pound, likewise, we've got to wait until 9:30. We've seen some decent retail sales figures coming out there. It's barely really done a great deal here. Still in a solid downward trend. This did actually roll over better yesterday afternoon, without me, I might add. I seem to be missing out on some of these. I did actually scalp gold yesterday, which was I scalped a currency out gold. It feels weird doing such things, but a lot of the time it's like this yen. It's looking like it's been going really well this week, and you think, well, I missed some opportunities here. Maybe I did because I didn't go long in the first place on it, but as a swing, it set off pretty early in the week there. It put its new high in there 6 o'clock in the morning on the Tuesday, and that gave it a higher low, new higher low. That confirmed a reversal back here, but trying to get it on a daily basis, that was Wednesday, Thursday, flat all day, and Friday, well, is it going to be flat all day? So not an easy one to get into. So don't beat yourself up when you can't get into them, basically. Australian dollar, still choppy. I'm leaving this alone. I'm not interested in it. It's just chopping through, and so long as these markets are staying like this, I'm not playing in the market as such. As I say, I was a bit naughty. I say naughty. I don't really like going looking for scalps, but it was just an opportunity on gold for me, which I took at the time, and it's okay. Now I'm looking at this Canadian dollar. It's alright. I can see it's not really a bedstead, but there's this sort of like you got this big down bar here, then you had a big up bar here, but whether it's going to continue, we'll see. It's similar to an old candlestick pattern, but it's really messy actually. I spent most of this week doing absolutely, most of yesterday doing absolutely nothing. And then we've had the spike through overnight here. Anyway, it is what it is here. It's a mess really. On the owl is trying to convince myself there's something there. I'm really not liking a lot of these pairs, and it's that patience to stay out rather than chase. US dollar Swissy, look, well, it looks like it could roll over. Quite like this. We'll see what happens at the end of the hour, but bear in mind we have got data coming out this morning, which from Europe, which can affect this Swissy a little bit. So, although they're not officially pegged, we sometimes get that reaction happening, kicking across. So I should watch this, but this looks like it's going to toodle on back down again at the moment. In the bigger picture, it's sort of gone up there, reacted to its quarterly. I'll get the right one in a moment. Quarterly pivot, reacted off that. It's had a lot of reactions around that quarterly pivot. Anyway, that's a Swissy. Other pairs, well, cross pairs, there's a lot of mess out there. The fact that the majors are not particularly clean is where I'm stuck at the moment. Gold was flying at one stage yesterday. I say flying, it was moving up quite nicely, but it come to a stalling point, back into its near its highs here, and that was time to come out. It wasn't a big move I took on this, but looking at it this morning, I don't like it again now. It just triggered a higher low, and I quite like the idea. Later in the afternoon, around here-ish, there wasn't a lot of movement there. As I say, it was a very scalpy move. Anyway, it just run out of space. I'm just looking at it now. Really, it's the side of a really naughty scalpy. Oops, let's put the S&Ps on first. So S&Ps, there we go, all-time highs, nearly new all-time highs, not far off of it. I was talking about this yesterday. This particular chart is a good chart to understand how horrible the last couple of weeks has been. October, a lot of people started off and were saying it was okay and it was running okay. Then we had the chitter chatter and stuff coming through from China, US in terms of tariffs, etc. I think that was what caused this first one, and it's been pretty ugly since. And that's it's a sort of a story across a lot of the markets. And last week, this week, it's not been particularly simple there at all. And probably apart from very short-term trading, staying out. We did have a euro earlier in the week, but even that didn't run all the way to its ideal target. So it's been a very quiet week in terms of trades, but I don't want to be giving money away that I made in the beginning of the month in particularly. Okay, nothing else there. So it's looking bullish, but goodness knows where it's going to run. The FTSE's made new all-time highs, as you can see. It's pushing in there at the moment. Not going to get in the way of this. It's been a bit flat, pushing up this morning. We're just a couple of minutes away from the open. Like the retail sales probably, but anyway, looking solid at this stage. There's still concern about where the money's coming from, but the DAX, well, again, real pig's ear overall. Last week it was a lot nicer. This week it's gone out of favour for me really here. Yesterday really nothing kicking in. It looked like it was going to do something more in the morning there, but only came back to the bodies. Right, well, not a great deal there either, so I think it's a bit of a case of waiting for me this morning. I'm going to look and see if I can get anything post news on this, but otherwise I'll just be once again sitting on hands until these markets settle up. As I said, come back, look at the S&Ps, and it's quite a good guide on the bigger time frames there of how ugly some of these markets have been of late. Okay, I shall leave you there and wish you a good day's trading. Have a good weekend as well. Catch you Monday. Bye for now.